nation's top scientists on the
virus. The Center for Disease Control
to watch for our
is it airborne?
Unbelievable hunger.
Regenerates dead tissue.
Health hazard or military concern.
To shoot them in the head.
To avoid becoming a victim of an attack.
Again, remain calm and wait for further instructions from authorities.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Trial by Air Variety Show podcast. This month, we are amping things up with 6 metal bands from all over the world. This is episode 1 in the March MAD METALNESS. I am your guest host, David, from the Destroyer of Worlds. Coming up next, we are talking to Cloudyspace from Switzerland. So sit back, crack open a cold one, smoke a fat one, sacrifice a small one. Without further ado, enjoy the show!
How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good too. Thanks for doing that, man.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, of course.
So,
I love this, man. I love being able to do this, honestly.
nice. Yeah. So, I just wanted to say in front, I apologize for my English if it's really bad.
That's okay. I understand there's a quite, it's actually very amazing that you even, have such a vocabulary in English, because I don't know any other language. None. So yeah, let's talk about Cloudyspace, man.
Yeah, man. Let's do that.
You just put out this EP. I mean, it literally is so fresh, like 3 days. And how has your response been so far, just from your main supporters?
Yeah, it's been really, really great for me. I mean, I'm really small, so it's like the response I'm getting now. It's like more than I ever got before. Like, it's still not like thousands of people, but yeah, it's some really nice comments, and I mean, Bandcamp downloads are almost used up, so it's cool.
That is very cool. Yeah. And for people that don't know, Bandcamp is one of those sites that they allow listeners that don't pay to be able to listen free for just a few. Basically, that band only allows so many free listens, and once that's up, you got to start throwing some money in the pot. And so as an artist, to be able to cash that out, especially in such a short time, that probably does feel very remarkable.
Yeah, man, and also, I mean, I've never done something like advertisement really, really big in a big way. Like, it's just me putting out the music and posting it everywhere when I can. So it's just from that, it's really amazing for me.
People are just going to come across it, essentially, right? It's going to be a very
Yeah.
organic following.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, I made friends on Facebook with most of the people listening to that sound. Like we follow each other and tell us feedback all the time. There's also very nice Facebook groups where you can do that. So that's really great.
Yeah, I've joined a few Facebook groups that have their independent music artist groups from different places all over the world, and different types of, sort of free promotion, stuff like that, really big groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I find that the amount of interaction on those groups is far greater than doing it on your own page, certainly.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And yeah, there's some like you are in a very small environment where everyone is kind of like in this scene, everyone is a musician in a way, in some way or other, involved with music very heavily. So everyone kind of supports each other and helps each other out with feedback and opinions, and so that's really great. I love that.
And what's great too, is they don't always do that. They only do that if your music's really good. So your experience,
well, yeah,
it speaks for itself in a way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because the
true.
music itself is, we've all, I'm sure you're very influenced by ambient music, and I'm sure you're influenced by metal.
Yeah.
And to have those two
Yeah.
mixed together is always such a great experience for your imagination, because metal's so mathematic, and it sort of, it puts your brain into this sort of looking for a pattern state of mind, and it's sort of meditative, isn't it?
Yeah, true. And it's also like a very intense sonic experience, I would say. Like the guitars are very cutting in your ears, and like everything is very intense, and I really enjoy that about metal. But I also really enjoy like the atmospheric, calm stuff of other kinds of music. Like, I mean, many types of music can be really atmospheric in a way. There's no real theory behind that. It's just like what you like to hear and what you like to do.
Yeah, that
at least for me.
It is. It's subjective. You're very right. There's no like really one way to pinpoint that meditative ambient. For me personally, metal is sort of new territory for me. Of course, I grew up with it my whole life. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. It's a very heavy metal-driven place.
Yeah, nice.
And so, the flip side to that is the suburb where I'm at is actually a very country-driven place. So I'm tossed between that really rootsy sort of, backwoods kind of feel, and then blended into that sort of over-aggressive, very driven music. And so I literally am trapped between both of those worlds. So, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. I'm very blessed to be in a city where tons of touring bands come through. Metal is one of those very popular facets that people cling to here. Though, in particular, I've always been more just about very clear lyrics and not pop, but more of the indie sort of feel. So with the podcast, though, I really wanted to challenge myself, and my girlfriend also challenged me with, like, go out and find metal, find metal that you like.
Well, she's awesome then. That's really great.
She's like a Slayer fan, a Clutch
fan,
and so.
Awesome, yeah, man. So, how did you find like Cloudyspace? How?
Well, what I do for my scouting is I go to Bandcamp, and then I go to Discover, which is a great feature, and then I go to new releases, and then I hit metal.
Nice. So it was there.
Yeah, and it was literally, I think it was like maybe the second page of like 200 pages.
That's really awesome, man.
And I just
gotta love Bandcamp. It's such a cool site.
Yeah,
I really
never know
enjoy
what
it.
you're gonna find.
Yeah. Awesome.
I always share my profile with people. That's a big thing that I've been doing. I'm trying to turn people on to Bandcamp, so I'm always telling
Yeah.
people like, hey, if you're tired of your your Spotify, your SoundCloud playlist, go
Yeah.
to my Bandcamp because I have tons and tons of music in my
Yeah.
collection. So
Yeah, you need to send me that over so I can follow you too.
yeah, for sure. There's like 160 something albums in that collection right now.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
guess my whole I guess the experience I would like to bring you and also our fans is sort of that first time feel. Where you obviously just released this album February 28th, and now here we are,
Yeah.
we're sitting at March 3rd, and we're talking about it. A lot
Yeah.
of cases for a lot of bands, they don't get that sort of opportunity for a really really long time. And myself as a
Yeah, man.
performer,
It's my first time.
yeah, you want to be able to tell your story, and you want to be able to explain beyond the just the album what it is. And so this is
Yeah.
simply just a platform for that. So
Yeah. You're really really awesome for doing that.
well, thank you. I appreciate that. I've just always loved
Yeah.
music. I've always loved sharing music, and this is just now
Yeah.
we're in this digital age where I can literally get a hold of it the day it
Yeah.
happens and get it out the next day, and I can literally turn people on to what's happening right now, and so that's really
Yeah.
important to me.
Yeah. It's great tools for sharing.
Let's take a little break and listen to the song Temper from Cloudyspace off their brand new EP, Limits of the Mind.
You started this project very independently. This was basically just your creative nest egg. When you started to bring in other people, what sort of process was that like? Was it kind of like handing over your child to a nanny, or was it kind of like opening the door to a new business with a partner? Like, how did that feel for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's all really between the both. I mean, the first time I really collaborated with someone was with the girl who made a solo on the fourth song of the EP, and she just did it for herself. I sent her the song, and then she came back with an amazing solo, and I was really really happy. I would say my mind was blown. Like, she made it so much better in a way that I really was extremely happy. And the next guy I worked with was my mixing and mastering dude. His name is Oliver, and yeah, he again made like what I did. It took it to a new level. So much that I couldn't be happier. But it's really kind of giving responsibility to other, or not responsibility, but more more control of your work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want it to sound in a way, but if other people help with it too, it may sound different than what you imagined. But that always, for me, it always turned out really nice. I'm really happy to be working with other people. So, and now for the next EP, I'm gonna work with even more people together, and I really want to do that more often.
I mean, you've spent, probably 3 or 4 years piecing this together, and
Yeah.
I must say you put most of this together. Really, given just the tiny bit of collaboration on this, most of this is you. You know, it's very honestly, the whole thing just overall is beautiful. I've listened to it like 5 times. And,
Thank you, man.
It really is just great. I love it. I highly
Thanks.
recommend it. I've handed it out to a few friends, and I've burnt it for another friend of mine. So
Nice. I really, really appreciate that, man. I mean, the influences is just really what I like to hear, what I search for in other music, like all these metal bands that I listen to. Like, for me, Gojira was the first real influence, and from there it's just what I like to hear and what I imagined for my music. But it's really all just intuition.
how close do you think you came to hitting the mark as far as what you've imagined and what is now
Oh.
documented?
You're never really satisfied, I would say. I'm still like, I could do this and this better, but at the same time, really, with most of all, the sound of it, with the mixing and mastering was so much better than I ever had in mind. Like, I'm really happy with it and a little bit proud. But the next EP I'm even more proud of.
Oh, so you already have something in the works, huh?
Yeah, that's these 4 years I have been working on a full album. Like, it's about an hour long, but I decided to put it out in really small bits. Like, this EP is 20 minutes. The next one is going to be some 30 maybe, just so I can, because I've been sitting on this material like 4 years too, because if you have so much music, you really need to start choosing where you are working now, because you can't work on everything together. At some point, I decided to go with 3 EPs I'm planning to do this year.
That's a really cool idea. I've interviewed a band from Sweden. They're called Clutter Culture. I've had 3 interviews with them, and what they have done is they've put out 3 EPs with the idea of it being one entire concept album, and they did that over an entire year.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty much that.
Yeah, which is
I want to be like, everything is one in the end. I want to release everything as one album. Yeah.
Are you playing live shows?
Not yet. I'm, for now, this is still a one-man project, so to say. Like, I've got some friends who really would like to play with me, but for now I'm still studying too. So I got to finish that, and then I would like to start looking for members and shows. Yeah.
So the focus is more on the recording at the moment.
Yeah. And also, I would say I need to write some songs or change some things in those songs I wrote, so that it would be just a really nice live experience for those who play it and for those who watch it. Because I'm not sure, I don't really want to rely too much on back tracks. Just having fun playing live. That's my dream.
Yeah, very cool. Well, take your time, you know?
Yeah, it's slowly but surely.
Yeah. As take your time, and then, as my buddy Spose says, don't die, you know? And then you got life.
Yeah.
Just don't die, man. Then you got all kinds of opportunities.
We're going to take one more interlude. This is, what the fuck's the name of the song? All right, we're going to take one more little interlude to enjoy another hit from Cloudyspace. This song is Inner Turmoil. off their limits of the mind, DB.
kind of stuff are you into, if not metal?
I really like lo-fi stuff, like or hip hop, like beats. There are many great artists from France actually that I really enjoy. They just do like instrumental hip hop beats, and mostly they are really also atmospheric stuff like that. I would say I'm into many different kinds of music because I think like there's in every kind of genre there is one, at least some really nice artists who really put their soul and like their passions in the music. And as long as I can feel that, I don't care what kind of music it is. So I really also listen to hip hop or trap and whatever.
What about chill wave? Your stuff kind of reminds me of like some metal chill wave.
Yeah. Yeah, that too. I mean, when I draw a lot, for example, and when I'm drawing or working on something, I really enjoy drone type music. That's just like very slow and atmospheric sounds. Like, yeah. For example, there's a game called Limbo, and the soundtrack of the game is just like really spheric noises. I can't describe it really, but it's it's just very atmospheric. I enjoy that too.
Loopy. You know?
Yeah, and just like one note for the whole, or one note with different variations of that sound or something like. Yeah,
I'm really impressed with the artwork as well. You mentioned your drawing, and you know, a lot of people would. It's just simply that they don't possess the talent to design their own artwork, so a lot of people commission it out. But the just the imagery of your whole project is stunning. The whale in outer space, and just sort of the worlds colliding, through the different facets of the different black holes, or however that's interpreted. You know, it really is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's like my first passion, or I can't say what's my first passion, but I'm studying illustration right now. So that's what I want to do for a living, art, illustration stuff. And yeah, I mean, I really want to everything for Cloudyspace to like as good as I can. So yeah, I'm a little bit proud of this, but it's very simple too. Like black on white, on that paper white. It's very easy to make it look really good. Like you can see everything.
Yeah, you can see kind of the textures in there. Even you know it's and I love how with the actual album cover you've taken kind of all the spread out elements and pieced them all together and used that.
They're forming a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's really great, man. It really is. You guys go check this
thanks,
out.
Man.
Talking to the listeners,
thanks.
go check it out.
Yeah, man.
Is there anything that you would like to talk about?
Just very thankful for you for doing that, and for everyone who listened to your stuff. I mean, you're doing something really great. I really appreciate what you're doing. And I would say thanks to everyone who ever stumbled upon my music and decided to give it a listen, like even for some seconds. I'm doing this all for fun in my free time, and I'm really glad some people enjoy it.
Apparently, a lot of people enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you studying?
It's called scientific illustration. It's mostly really learning to draw really naturalistically. Like, you need to be able to see something and draw it like it is. That was the first year, and then we were more into teaching scientific concepts or stuff like really abstract concepts to people with pictures or with images. That's something I enjoy really much. But I'm also into that free artsy kind of drawing stuff, just for fun too.
Yeah. You know, it's awesome that you've been able to combine both of those and use that while also taking on
Yeah.
the workload that you're taking on. That's
Yeah.
a lot of ambition and a lot of passion in there.
Yeah, it's what I love.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I'm raising a big family right now. I didn't go the school route. I started raising a family and working full time, and I've
Yeah.
always found time to play music and to do this, and you know, it's never
Yeah.
paid anything, but it is like
Yeah.
you can't live without it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really glad I have those passions in my life. I really, I think everyone should like discover what they like to do that much and be able to do it. That would be really good for a lot of people.
It's a good release, and I love that people listen to this. To me, that's such
Yeah.
a hopeful thing that, you know, I always get so terrified that I keep hearing the same songs on the radio over and over, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how long is this gonna go on? Like,
Yeah. It's the internet made things really good for for small bands out there now, like musicians or bands or projects, whatever, and they all get more chances to be heard. And for me, it's also really cool that just some people on the other side of the world decide to listen.
remember that time when bands actually had to show up and play places in order for people to know who they are?
Yeah, good times, man.
It's kind of,
No, I mean,
you wouldn't even
it's
imagine, you know, 15 years
mm,
ago, a world where you could just go to
mm,
school, make an incredible album, and then just keep going to school. Like, you didn't have to tour, you didn't
yeah.
have to make stickers or T-shirts or anything. You just,
Yeah,
you know,
you don't have to commit anymore.
yeah, I couldn't
No,
fathom that.
no, yeah, it's. I mean, the more musicians, the bigger the chances that something is really good, and so or there is something that you enjoy better.
Yeah, it's like you're saying in every genre there's something, and I feel like what makes those bands stick out in each of those genres is when they don't try to be in that genre. When they just
Yeah,
what happens, that what comes out of
yeah,
them is that feeling, is that
yeah,
encompassing body of work, and they're not trying to say like, oh, you know, this is a popular genre, let's do this, or oh, we only want to play this because this is what we're trained in,
mm,
or so on and so forth. You know.
yeah. For me, it's really if a musician is like genuine, has passion about his music, then it's I give it a listen at least. Even if I don't like it, I can see why it's something good what
Yeah.
he's doing.
Yeah, that's a very objective ear. That's how I got to look at the world too, you know.
Yeah,
This is kind of how
yeah.
I came into honestly, that's how I came into your music. 2 weeks ago,
Uh,
I was going, nah, I'm not really into metal. And my girlfriend's
yeah.
going, yeah, that's not fair to your listeners, and that's not fair to all those metal bands. And I'm like, yeah, I know, you know, I just like I don't know how to pick it. That's my thing, is I don't know how to pick it. I don't know what's good in that genre if I'm so scared of it. So I turned off I took down all my walls. I literally tore them all down, and I went into
Nice.
Bandcamp with just a really open mind, and I just looked for what sounded like somebody's really they're right, you know, they're putting it together right. They're not trying to force it.
Nice.
They're not trying to be somebody else. And of the hundreds of bands that we went through, literally hundreds of bands, I picked 5, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh, and I was one of
you
them.
were one
Man,
of
I'm
them, yeah.
so humbled.
Yeah,
No, really, it's really thanks, man.
of course,
Yeah,
man.
Bandcamp is great for that. I mean, and also your girlfriend gave great advice to you.
Yeah, right.
Like, thanks for doing that.
Yeah, and then she challenged me too because she knows how to push my buttons. She's like, I don't think you'll go through with it. I'm like, you don't think I will dedicate all of
You
March.
don't dare.
So I was like, she
Nice,
lit the
nice.
fire under me for sure.
It's a good thing,
Yeah.
man.
Well, man,
Yeah.
so I think that's it. I got I try to make my episodes about 45 minutes long. Some of them
Ooh,
end up going a little longer. I'm trying to keep them short so that I can put more
yeah,
out there a month.
yeah,
You know, I was doing
yeah,
like hour and a half episodes, but I was only able to put out like 3 a month, and I'm like, oh shoot. So
yeah,
and that's just
yeah. I listened to your stuff on SoundCloud before.
cool.
It
What'd you
was
think?
I think you did a really great job, man. It's really great what you do. I need to I mean I'm following you now, but I really like like the way you talk with people, it feels really just very natural to me.
It is. I don't do it on days that I feel like I'm not a people person, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. There's this too. Yeah, man.
All right, brother. Well, I will put everything together, and I will put a
Yeah.
few of these songs on here. I'll tell you what. I'll use Temper since you have the collaboration.
Yeah, man.
I'll use
Great.
Cognitive Shards
Yeah.
and Inner Turmoil,
Nice.
and we'll leave
Yeah,
Timeless and
you do that.
Tantrum.
It's cool. Yeah.
Excellent.
They're they're. I mean, I really like every song, but Temper and Inner Turmoil are my favorites.
Awesome.
If I could
Great.
say that.
Great talking to you, man, and we'll catch up soon. Let's talk again when you get your full album out.
Sure, man. I will definitely contact you. And if you need any like bands you could check out, write me.
Okay, yeah.
I'll give you some tips.
Same thing. Yeah, please. Yeah, send me any recommendations you have, and I'll try to reach out and get them on the show, or just check them out if I can't get them.
Yeah, sure.
Very cool, man.
Awesome.
Well, take care of yourself.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks.
Yep, later.
Let's take one more break and enjoy a last tune of Cloudyspace before we end this show tonight. This song is Tantrum. Facts forged from metal.
Facts forged from
According to the YouTube video, The Surprising Origins of the Death Growl by Polyphonic, growl metal has its origins from the Vikings, according to a 10th century Arabic traveler. Never before have I heard uglier music than that of the Vikings in Slesvig. The growling coming from their throats reminds me of dogs howling untamed. In 1151, Hildegard von Bingen wrote Ordo Virtuum, a play in which there is a role for the devil where the lines are to be delivered Streptus Diabla, which, of course, we have no recordings of, so with comparisons made from past voices of the devil, we know it is a throaty, growly, loud projection. This has been your daily Fact Forged from Metal. We hope you all have learned something.
Thank you for tuning in on this March Mad Metalness. Join us next time on episode 2, where we feature Squidhead from Belgium. Take care of one another and don't stab anyone. And don't forget, follow the golden rule.
the theme music today and this entire month of March is composed by San Antonio band Destroyer of Worlds. You can find them on Bandcamp at thedestroyerofworlds.bandcamp.com. Thank you guys.